Welcome to another exciting unboxing. These are the Logitech G930 gaming headphones, headsets, whatever it is you want them to be. They're wireless and they are in 7.1 Dolby surround sound. So we're going to go ahead and take a closer look at the back of the box here, which basically tells us everything that we need to know, I suppose. Gaming grade wireless, so they're claiming with a range of up to 40 feet or 12 meters, so nothing stands between you and victory. Sounds good. 7.1 surround sound. Guys, I'm not a huge advocate of the necessity of surround sound sort of technologies for gaming. I've always taken sort of a, well, you've got two ears, so you probably only need two inputs sort of philosophy. However, if you do enjoy the surround sound experience, one thing I will tell you is use a digital surround sound headphone or headset. Do not use one with dedicated speakers. And this, again, sort of comes back to the whole, if you have two ears, you probably only need two speakers argument. But when you put more speakers into a small area like headphones would have you do, what happens is you end up with a lot of lower quality, lower sound fidelity speakers as opposed to two much larger, much better ones. There's a reason that every high-end, gaming headphone wants to tell you how big the drivers are, and the reason for that is because bigger drivers basically will equal a better overall ability to produce noises, more better. So lots of smaller speakers is not the solution. 3 programmable G keys allows you to take command over music. Well, what they really allow you to do is do whatever you want. You can program them, so you can set up voice morphing, launch chat clients or whatever else. Memory phone line headband should be good. Noise canceling microphone, okay. Glows red when muted and automatically mutes when rotated out of the way. This is a feature we see on a lot of headsets these days. Full speed USB charging base, which recharges even while you're still playing and powers the wireless adapter with a single USB connection. So let's go ahead and put that away because we're pretty much done with it now, and open up the headset itself. So it comes in a little plastic clamshell, looks a little something like this. Comes with a base station. I'm actually going to switch to our wider cam for just a second here so that you guys can see what in the heck I'm doing. There are the G930s. So right, G series. That basically means optimized for gaming. I'm going to go ahead and throw these on my head for now while I get some idea what I think of them in terms of the comfort. Not bad, actually. The foam's a little bit stiffer than I'm used to encountering. Let's have a look at what is included in terms of accessories. So inside this right here, love the way Logitech does their packaging. Although they still include CDs, totally pointless. You can go ahead and download the latest drivers off of the Logitech website. Getting started with Premiere Utilisation, Logitech wireless gaming headset, G930. It's going to go ahead and point you in the direction of all the buttons that you need to press or not press. Let's see if any of them are labeled do not press. No, power button, surround sound switch. Let's go ahead and leave that open. End of life battery disposal notice. Okay, cool. That's good to let you know about. Safety, compliance, and warranty. Excellent. So here's that base station. So this guy goes ahead and plugs into your computer. You can see it actually coils up like this. Okay, so if anyone says they're going to drop a coiler on your desk, you better hope they're referring to this thing. I'm getting a look from the filming crew that would indicate that that joke is not very funny, but it's okay. Diesel says my joke stunk. So, wow, this thing is really difficult to uncoil, although, getting your hands in it probably isn't helping matters at all. So there you go. Okay, so there's a little hub thing, so you can go ahead and plug this guy into here. So that's the wireless transmitter receiver. Go ahead and plug that into any USB port, and then this right here plugs into the back of your computer. So this will act as kind of a hub. So this will provide power to the headphones / headset themselves. This will provide signal and power to the dongle, and then this plugs into the computer. So I don't know that this is necessarily the most elegant solution ever in terms of sort of how they've implemented this, although it's not the worst. I probably would have personally gone with just 2 separate cables, although I guess since it looks like it uses a standard micro USB. You could, yeah, it just uses a standard micro USB, so you could go that route if you wanted to as well. It does have little rubber grips on the bottom, so if you wanted to make sure that it doesn't move on your table, then you wouldn't really have any issues with that. There you go. I think that pretty much takes care of that. Moving on to the headset itself. So As I mentioned before, once you rotate it up and out of the way, it will mute itself. It also glows red for mute. Let's take a closer look and see what we think. And I probably just adjusted my voice volume because they are closed, so they are somewhat noise isolating. I was not able to hear myself very well while I had them on. So here we go. 3 programmable G keys. These guys right here allow you to change your voice effects or do whatever else you want, like a G. No, I'm getting the head shakes again. Not a good joke, apparently. Here's your mute button right here. If you did want to mute it manually, even though the boom mic is lowered. You can adjust the position of the boom mic, although not as much as we've seen on other headsets in the past. Okay, so there's your microphone there, as well as your noise canceling doodad right here, just to make sure that it's only picking up your voice and not anything else. I mean, it's not that bad, but yeah, I wouldn't mind seeing something with a little bit more vertical play. There's your volume right there. Do like to see the volume wheel. It's the most comfortable sort of volume adjustment method for me personally. I don't really like tactile buttons for volume. I like to have a nice wheel that I can go, oh, no, too loud, and sort of quickly reduce like that. There's your power input. Remember, guys, that'll charge the batteries as well as just allow you to use the headset as a wired headset should you so desire. Here's your Dolby headphone button. Nice to have a dedicated button for this. That way you can just kind of decide on the fly if this particular game or this particular movie or song or whatever sounds better to you in one mode versus the other. Power button's right here, so you can go ahead and press that button and the light will, this is probably in pairing mode right now, so that's probably why it's flashing. On the other side, we don't find much in terms of buttons or anything, so it's just a speaker in there and none of the electronics are being housed like that. So in terms of rotation, they go about 90 degrees away from center to this side, and then just about, looks like only about 15-20 degrees away from centered the other side. So that gives you about as much adjustment as any sort of human will need. However, if they are intended to be used by non-humans, hominids, non-humans, then they'd probably need greater adjustment, but this should be just fine. I think I did say before that the foam feels a little bit stiff. I'd expect it to break in. There's memory foam in the top, but it's not the softest memory foam that I've ever felt in the past. Here, I'll give you guys a closer look at that, actually. So I'll just kind of squeeze it and show you guys. I guess it does take a while to retract. I just wouldn't mind if it was a little bit thicker. And then the ear cups themselves, I think they specifically call out the memory foam in the top band because I don't think it is memory foam here. This actually, see, you can see that retracts extremely quickly. So I would expect there to be a bit of a break-in period with this headset before it would be 100% comfortable, which isn't necessarily a shot at it. It's not necessarily a mark against it. I mean, even my HD 555s were not nearly as comfortable at the beginning as they were after using them for, 6 months, but I think that pretty much covers it. Have we missed anything here, folks? Oh yeah, right, adjustments. So adjustments are pretty, oh look at that, they're numbered, that's adorable. So they're numbered from 1 to 11, so that if you pay attention and you want to know exactly which one you prefer, you can go ahead and get it sized for yourself correctly, and then you can always get it back to the right thing if you want. It's a metal band, which is nice to see. I've seen too many plastic headband adjustments, and they just break, or they start to not click into place over time. So I do prefer to see metal construction there, especially if it's the kind of thing where gamers, they lose and then they're like, ah, and they throw their headset off in disgust. I can pretty much guarantee that that headset did survive the fall, and that carpet is disgusting. Diesel, stop looking at that. Let's come back up here. I'm just going to change camera away from him. So there you have it, guys. Thank you for checking out my unboxing and first look at the G930 from Logitech. Don't forget to subscribe to Linus Tech Tips for unboxings, reviews, and other computer videos.